Okay, so before I get started, how do I do the thing? You know the thing? You know the thing. You know. You know? How do I do the thing? Um, how do I make it so I can hear my voice on Streamlabs? I don't want. I just want. I don't want to click on a video. I don't want to. I don't want to click on a video. I don't want to. I don't want to do that. This shit will probably cut out a bunch. My internet's being really slow right now. Mostly, I think because I have a million tabs open. I don't really know what the reason is. I think technology is just generally mad at me. So whatever. Um. Of slobs. Is it here? Settings. Audio. Here? Yeah, mic setup, desktop audio enabled in the settings. Do not add. No, wait. This is the wrong thing. I want to hear myself. That's what I want. I want to do it. Yes, I want to too. No. See, look, it's gonna keep doing welcome to chat every time I, like, kinda disconnect. Oh well. The point is getting the whole video up in the first place. And I think I have my videos autosaved now. And really, I just want to post this on YouTube. But maybe it'll work on Discord. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Okay. Click the gear icon above your audio sources. Here, in the mixer. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? Hey! Wait. It's on my desktop. That's not normal. Is this? No. I don't understand. What must I do? Is it this one? Is this one? No. I mean, it's only the other one that seems to work. I don't understand. Slobs. Okay, I'm just gonna fucking keep one one headphone thing off so I can actually hear myself a little bit better. So, really dumb discourse online right now. Specifically, that Keffals has started for no fucking reason, as far as I can tell. I don't know, some guy named Max or whatever. Oh, non-binary person named Max or whatever. Who cares? Some person, whatever. But basically, seems like Keffals keeps trying to find reasons to say the word theyfab. And I just, like, don't get why she needs to say it or needs a reason to say it so bad. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, you know? And then she keeps doubling down on it, and it's like, I don't. And then she's like, "This is niche internet discourse, so it doesn't matter." Okay, but you already know about it. You're already talking. You made 2 whole videos on it. I don't think you're making it less niche now by talking about it. If it's niche internet discourse, you should have dismissed it when you first saw it. Clearly it's not niche if it bothers you this much. Clearly you're fine with it not being niche anymore if it bothers you this much. I don't understand why you need to say it. I just don't like why. I have talked to other people in my life about the situation and they're like, "Yeah, that's stupid." Why do you need to use that word? There's no excuse to use the word. So the defense is apparently that there was a time where, well, I mean, this does happen sometimes, but it seems like it happened more in the past, where AFAB non binary people were trying to make AFAB only spaces or something. And then trans women came up with the derogatory term theyfab, and then keffals is like, so that's a good justification to keep using. Like, I don't care. What, like, yeah, that's not cool for, like, I don't believe in the AFAB spaces shit. That's dumb. It's dumb as fuck, right? But, like, I don't give a fuck what your excuse is. Theyfab intentionally draws attention to one's assigned gender for no fucking reason. And it, like, first of all, right now, nowadays, it's used by TERFs and trans meds, right? So, like, why do you want to say it so badly? Why do you need to say it so badly? Like, I don't understand. Other than maybe to make someone like me, a trans man, feel like I don't belong. Because that's basically kind of how I feel right now, that I don't belong in this community. You know, I kind of struggle to feel like I belong in any community, so I kind of float around hoping I'll be able to stick somewhere, but it just kind of seems like one community after the next, there's always some bullshit. With Vosh's community, it was the anti-theism crap, and he won't live that shit down, so moving on from that one. So I went to Keffals, and, you know, now she's on this whole, it's fine to say they fab shit, and it doesn't matter, and your feelings don't matter, and and it's like, okay, cool, that's so original. I've never been told that in my entire life. You're making me want to bring up the fact I'm AFAB now because you keep telling me everything I feel is inconsequential, like the way people treat AFAB people in general. It's just like, okay, ignore all the trans men, the non-binary people, the trans masks. Ignore all of us. It just doesn't matter. Life is a meme and a joke. Nothing matters. It's all funny. Whoa. Nothing matters, guys. We can do whatever the fuck we want. We can say whatever we want, and it doesn't matter. And you're just too hashtag triggered. That's just what it feels like. It just feels like people who, I don't know, maybe came from the whole anti-SJW era, just finding a new way to be the same way towards people. You know? Just trying to find a new way to be shitty towards people. I don't know. Because there's no one uses the term theyfab nowadays in whatever way trans women used to use it or whatever. And even if trans women use it in that way still nowadays, I don't think that's cool. There's no excuse to name call people, which is all that fucking is. Why do you need to do that? I'm more okay with calling people like asshole or dipshit. I'm more okay. I would think it's even less bad to call someone the R word. I'm not gonna say it personally. Partially because I'm on Twitch and I don't know what the fuck they think about saying that. But also because I don't really think it's cool to say. I'm not gonna quote unquote tone police you about it unless you literally know the person is like actually somehow classified in that way, like not as the R word, but the people stereotyped as the R word. I kind of think leaning on that a lot and being like, oh, like especially if you're like to an autistic person, like, does your autism make you are you know you know or whatever. That's probably not cool, but that's kind of how it feels. That's kind of how it fucking feels. And then like I don't know, because of that whole thing, I was talking to someone in the YouTube comments of one of those videos that she posted, and they were like, "Oh, well, the whole thing about trans women saying it when they're mad or whatever, and we shouldn't like tone police people when they're upset or whatever." I'm like, okay, but like neo-Nazis have done that since forever, calling like quote unquote SJWs snowflakes and coming up with new terms to call us shit because they're mad in the moment. Are we not allowed to be upset with them for that kind of shit? Because we know what it leads to. It leads to this. The whole point of that term is to other. I understand initially the AFAB only spaces was made basically to other trans women. However, nowadays people only use theyfab to other trans masks or non binary people. And anything used as an excuse to other people, it's just gonna slowly make you see them less and less as someone you need to respect or even acknowledge, and probably eventually you'll start seeing them as subhuman. I don't know. There's no excuse to other anybody, there's no excuse to generalize. That's sort of been the thing I've learning on my rich, amazing journey here on Earth. It's that those two things are stupid. Don't other people, don't dehumanize people, and don't generalize people. Those are probably the biggest rules I'm gonna live by personally, because I actually have principles. I don't think of life as a meme and everything as a joke, and I'm personally not gonna try to build myself off of that. Not gonna rely on being a meme lord as a crutch. Is crutch the right word? I don't know. Not rely on being a meme lord to get attention. You know. So, sorry, I can be kind of a bitch about it. I can be a little bit of a bitch about it, but it's okay. It's okay, because we're all being a bitch tonight, aren't we? Oh, God. There's something wrong with me. I like that there's something wrong with me, though, because someone's gotta bite y'all in the ass. You go on so high and mighty all the time, being like, these woke scolds, and then you're the same way. I don't know. Whatever. These woke scolds, they never listen, and they never try to understand my arguments, and then you do the same shit. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. And like I also like I don't think there's anything wrong with using the term woke scolds. I definitely think it's a thing. However, people are getting so lost in like feeling so proud of themselves for coming up with the word woke scold, they don't realize when they're doing the same exact shit. Because they're so convinced they're not like a woke scold, that they don't look like a woke scold or whatever, that like they just don't realize they're doing the same exact shit. Whatever. So, I just think this is dumb. The discourse is dumb. And I mean, it is niche internet shit, but she's making it more popular by posting these videos about it. So it's becoming less niche now. Actually. Thanks to you. So, if you didn't want it to be so niche, then, maybe you should fucking stop talking about it. Maybe you shouldn't have posted the shit in the first place. But, granted, apparently she was brigaded by whomstever the fuck Max is. Um, and people. Max told. I don't know, people to pressure her to post the video. Which she should just have ignored, quite honestly. She just really should have ignored it, quite honestly. Because this was just not It just wasn't it. It just wasn't it. It just like it's so hard to find a space where you can like be respected as a trans man. You know, it's like everybody's always looking for an excuse to misgender you or like be misogynistic to you. Here's one thing that I've noticed ever since like the beginning of my transition, and it started with my fucking dad, actually. Um, for some reason, people hear you being like, I want to be a man, and then they take that as a challenge. Oh my god, I really need to cough. I think I need water. Oh my god. Ugh. They take it as a challenge. Hold on, let me go get some water. Alright. I'm gonna crunch this old water bottle real quick. Okay. So people see you being like, oh, I want to be a man as a challenge, basically. They're like, oh, well, we're gonna push you to see just how much of a man you can tolerate being. It's like the whole thing of like, they start putting the whole, oh, men can't cry. Trans people do this shit too. Trans people do this shit too. Plenty of y'all do this shit too. Even sometimes other trans men, but they're usually the ones that are so, like, at the heels of, like, non-binary people and trans femmes that they, like, call themselves trans misogyny exempt or whatever the fuck. So, it's usually those types. But they basically try to do all the things the patriarchy does to cis guys, and then, like, do it 10 times harder. Like, you're not allowed to cry at all. At all. Like, they start. These feminist, supposedly, people will start. They're like, oh, well, nowadays I understand that I should let men cry. But then when it comes to trans guys, they're still in this mindset that they need to challenge us for some reason. So then we're just not allowed to cry at all. We're stuck back in the past. We're only allowed to exist in the past, whereas y'all are allowed to progress when it comes to cis men. But for some reason, when it comes to trans men, you just cannot just leave us the fuck alone. Like, you just can't leave us the fuck alone. I don't really understand what's up with that. I don't understand why you feel this urge to make me feel like utter shit and try to make me feel so exhausted about being a man, essentially to make me not want to be one anymore, which is something that a lot of trans people do. A lot of trans people prefer the femmes, etc., etc. I don't know. Look up anti-masculinity or whatever the fuck on Tumblr. It's the whole thing, you know. Lots of trans people feel it, trans men feel this way, and you can laugh about it being on Tumblr, but there are a lot of trans people on Tumblr. So, I don't know what to tell you. It's just, it is what it is. That's where a lot of the discussions about trans stuff happens. And we could go on about real world stuff, whatever, whatever, but we're already talking about it. We've already brought it up, so shut up. We're already talking about it. Shut up. Stop pretending you're so cool and above it. You're really the fuck not. You built your at keffals specifically, you built your entire fucking platform off of drama bullshit. Let's be fucking real, okay? Stop pretending you're so fucking above it all. You're really the fuck not. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry that you've convinced yourself that you are. But you're not. You're really not. All of your content is literally just drama shit. A lot of it is. I've already made a video about this. I was hoping you would maybe listen, but apparently not. Apparently this is just the only way you like getting attention, which is kind of sad. What? I'm gonna ignore that person. um, Stream Rise like Russia? What? What? I'm ignoring you. I'm so sorry. You're not a real person. Anyways, um, yeah, just like I'm so over it. I'm so over her attitude, man. She's always so like this. It's not even just her. A lot of trans people are like this. It's always like this, like, haha, I'm like apathetic and nothing matters and everything's a meme and a joke and like unless it affects me, then it's like this really big deal and crying, you know. But when it's like about like a trans man, I don't really care about. Then it's like whatever. It's so funny. It's just so funny. It's just so funny to watch people I don't like, you know. Yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine and normal. I don't know. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this. This is tiring. This is so stupid. This is the dumbest thing ever. Like, and she wouldn't even like engage with the guy's hypothetical at all. Like, you can be like, She-Mab isn't real. Well, because of because of all this, I kind of want to make it real, so maybe you know how the fuck it feels when someone says theyfab. I don't know. I kind of want to make it a thing so you know how the fuck it fucking feels, bitch. Like, I. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of people, especially like just like a lot of the trans community just being so dismissive of the way that they treat like trans masks and like non-binary AFAB people or whoever they see as not passing. And it's not even just that. Sometimes they'll just call you that just because they don't like you. No one ever uses this term in any other fucking way. No one uses the term they fab in any other fucking, like, the term itself in its original context is derogatory. it's it's an insult on purpose. Like I understand that people brought their assigned gender up in the first place. However, you're still like being a shit about it. Like you're still being a piece of shit about it for no fucking reason. There's no reason you need to. There's none. There's no reason. There's no reason. There's really no fucking reason you need to say that word. There's no reason you need to call anybody that. It's almost like saying she-male. That's how it feels to me, you know? Like, it's just. I don't understand. I don't understand. I would debate her about it if, you know. But the only problem is she would spend the entire time treating it like it's just this memey joke and like nothing matters and it's just like funny and look how funny and irrational this guy is for having any emotions about this and I'm so above it all and you know even though like I'm obsessed with how everybody feels about me online. Otherwise, I think you would have deleted Twitter. But you won't delete Twitter because you benefit from having this drama shit. It's the only way you can get attention nowadays. That seems to be the case. At least that's the only thing I can assume. Or you have a weird morbid obsession with like checking in on your haters or listening to your haters. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I couldn't tell you. I'm not in your head, so whatever. But you know, just like maybe stop being a dickhead to people. Maybe just like stop trying to find a reason to be an asshole to people. I mean, we can watch the video, but it's like a huge nothing burger. Like she didn't say anything in it, and she cut a whole lot out. She cut so much out of that. Because she realized it made her look bad, and a lot of people were disagreeing with her, and yeah, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, really disappointed in her. Not that she cares. You know, why would she care about, you know, anything? Because clearly she doesn't. Oh, besides, unless it affects her, then she cares. Um, right. Uh-huh. Yeah, so that's sad. It's really sad. I thought she was cooler than that. But, you know, no, apparently not. I don't know. I mean, like, the problem is someone, that guy, that, I keep saying guy, I don't even know if they go by he, him. I'm just gonna call them they, them. That person, Max, apparently told people to dogpile her, and so that's just gonna make her dig her heels in. And there's nothing to be done about that. I can't undig her heels for her. I can't convince her that, like, I don't know. I mean, what could I say at this point? You know, that, like, that wouldn't make her feel defensive. Like, she's gonna be defensive about it because of this Max person. Which really pisses me the fuck off, because, you know, she could have maybe, like, come the fuck around if maybe you did not do that, you know? But whatever, dude. What is up with my throat right now? It's like so dry, but like no matter how much water I drink, it won't do anything. Coughing in the mic. I'm so sorry. I'm not. I'm not usually someone who streams very often. I want to stream more. Can't stream classic WoW anymore. I mean, I guess I could, but I don't want to anymore because they're, you know, they're getting rid of, Lich King, realms, which sucks. Because I don't want to play Cataclysm at all, so I just, like, canceled my subscription. And my game time or subscription completely ends tomorrow, so if I wanted to play, I would have to play either tonight or tomorrow. I think it ends at 6 p.m. sometime tomorrow, I'm not really sure. Whatever the case. I'm bad at streaming, and I'm new to it, so whatever. But I'm just kind of here, trying to be a voice for, you know, people who feel the same way as I do, and I'm more of a cunt about it, you know. Um, I'm more willing to, you know, say things other people aren't. So, you know, just cause, I mean, like, sometimes you gotta say the shit that makes people understand, you know? Sometimes you gotta say the shit that will make them understand why it sucks that what they're doing, you know? I don't know. My fucking god. I smoked earlier. I don't even know why I'm coughing so fucking much. I smoked, like, way earlier. I don't know. Whatever. 4 hours ago. Whatever. Anyways. So, okay. Let's go ahead and watch her video on it. I didn't even finish this because I was so, like,
That's the comparison
so stupid.
I'm making. Do you wanna get right into it then?
Okay, so I want to figure out what the context was in the first place. Why were you saying that people who say theyfab should be with anvils?
I said that an anvil should spawn 30 feet above their head. That doesn't mean they should be killed.
Oh, come on. We
move,
know
they
what
should
you
be
mean
killed.
by this.
And this is also stupid because it's like, okay, why do you care so much about something that's obviously a joke, but then you don't care at all about how your words are affecting people? I don't know, it's just something to chew on.
Okay. I strongly dislike the term theyfab because it like serves the express purpose of reminding a trans person of their sex, right?
Yep.
Same way that you wouldn't refer to a trans woman who you disagree with as a she-mab, right? Like that feels like a fucked up thing to do. Hence why I think that theyfab is
And
really
then she
fucked
does
up.
this little smirk, like,
And therefore,
that's
I feel
not a
like people
real
who are using
name,
terms
so
that have kind of the
it doesn't
purpose of
matter.
inducing dysphoria, maybe should have an anvil fall on
Hypothetical
them,
stonces.
maybe occasionally, you know.
Okay, so
But
the
I'd be
first thing
curious
I
to
would
hear what you
say on
think.
this is, how do you know that it's being used to induce dysphoria?
It
In
is
which context did you see the
Well,
term being
it does
used?
automatically
I mean,
kind
the
of
term
fucking do
itself
that.
is dysphoria inducing, is it not? I mean, for lots of people who don't want to be reminded of their like.
Because it literally, like, theyfab, like, you're literally just calling attention to someone's assigned fucking gender by default. You know, you can't just assume whoever you're talking to doesn't have dysphoria and so is fine. That's not how it works. That's not how this world works. Oh my god.
Birth sex, right? Is that not like pretty? Is that not directly kind of doing that, being like, hey, reminder, you're different from the rest of everyone else, right?
Like for some
Uh,
people I
it,
could see this, but that's
for
making
some
the
people,
assumption that you're talking about someone who experiences dysphoria in the first place, and when that argument, like when that term is being used, it's usually being used to refer to non-binary people who aren't trans. They're not going through a medical transition, they don't feel dysphoria.
So that's
I
that's
think that
not true.
reminding them of their birth.
When is okay, but even then, what? Just because someone goes through medical doesn't want to go through a medical transition doesn't mean they don't experience dysphoria. First of all, second of all, the only time it is ever used is derogatorily, negatively towards someone. It's only ever used as a name calling thing. That's the only time it is used. It is not used in any other way. Any person who says they identify as theyfab, I think I already said this earlier. I don't know, I feel like I'm fucking repeating myself. Because no one's listening to me, because anything I say doesn't matter and is inconsequential. It's all niche, whatever. Feelings don't matter. No one's feelings matter. Fuck everything. Fuck the world. Whatever. You know. Whatever. Like, come on. How is it so hard to have empathy for like people you consider AFAB? Why is it this hard? I don't understand why it's so fucking hard, especially for like these spaces for some reason. It's not even just these spaces. Just everybody fucking ignores trans. First of all, trans men and masks the most, but also like quote unquote AFAB non-binary people or whatever. You know, like I don't understand why you need to bring attention to someone's assigned gender. Really, there's not many times you need to do that. There's not many times you need to do that at all. Like maybe if you're a doctor, maybe if that person already brought it up in the conversation and you're already having a conversation about it, you know? But like otherwise, why do you need to? If you're like talking generally about AFAB people who do a thing, that's one thing, but if you directly call someone a theyfab, that's kind of just derogatory. There's no other way it can be seen. Like I don't understand what is so hard to like get about this. I don't know. Maybe I should stop saying that because I think me making her feel like dumb and like an asshole probably doesn't help, but like she's kind of being a dumb asshole right now. So it's a little hard for me, you know, in that sense. Oh my god.
Birth sex when they identify as non-binary is still. I mean, you can call it non-binary phobic if you don't want to call it transphobic. but that's still like a shitty, awful thing to do. And also the argument about dysphoria and if it's okay to then insult people because they're non-dysphoric or whatever is kind of bullshit. Because every time I see that being invoked, it's against people who haven't made it clear if they do or don't experience dysphoria.
Yep.
It's mainly just used against people who are gender non-conforming and don't look like the gender that they're transitioning to according to like conventional societal standards.
Yep.
See, I feel like you're missing like the core of this
But,
issue. The
but
reason
who
why
you
people use it as an
definition
insult in the
you
first
use?
place. Like the only times I've seen people use the term theyfab is when it was non-binary people who were assigned female at birth who were doing AFAB only housing.
And there's the justification. So, apparently it's fine because some non-binary people do AFAB only spaces. Apparently it's fine now, and now we get to like treat it like it doesn't matter anymore.
Or the non-binary
Mhm.
person who was assigned female at birth who was saying that my dog hates AMABs, which both of these things are blatantly transphobic.
I
Don't
mean, yeah,
disagree
those
with
things are
that.
retarded, right? But that doesn't mean that you have then a right to try and go out of your way to remind somebody of their like birth sex for no reason. Why not just say that they're transmisogynists or something, right? Like that's just bioessentialism. Why not call them
Mm-hmm.
out for that rather than
Right.
like going for an insult which like directly has the express purpose of trying to remind them of their birth sex?
Pretty much.
I don't I think the reason why is that it is such a common pattern of behavior that people coined a term to reference it. And
Okay. But they could have coined a different term that doesn't directly induce dysphoria in somebody, couldn't they? Couldn't you just do that instead? Why do you need to say they fab? Why is it okay? Why does it need to exist?
at the point when they're doing shit like that, I don't see why they deserve that respect.
Do you
Oh my
think that
god, dude, really? Oh god. When people do something I don't like, it means I don't have to respect them in any capacity anymore. Okay, alright, then I guess we should just live in a world that's not civil in any capacity, and we could just throw our shit at everybody whenever we're upset with them, huh? Is that the world you want, Keffals? Is that the ideal outcome for you? Is that what you want? Is this what you want? Is any of this what you want? Clearly it is, because you're clearly amused by this and see it as a joke.
the majority of the times it's used is actually
And of
used
course you
like
don't
that?
take it seriously because it involves trans masks and AFAB people, because no one ever takes any of us seriously or listens to us for shit for anything. Especially about things that affect us, like this fucking term. You know? I don't know, maybe you should just listen, especially since, I mean, I don't know about Karl Max's fucking assigned gender or whatever, but kind of seems like a lot of quote unquote AMAB people talking about an issue without any quote unquote they've fabs around to say anything about it. I don't know, that's just kind of how it looks to me. Why do you need to say it? Why do you need to say it? Why do you need to say it? You don't need to say it. There's no reason to say it. There's no reason to say it.
Like because I don't know anybody who defines it the way that you are, and I also don't understand the point of
Yep.
insulting people who are even non-dysphoric, really, right? Like if that is the case, who gives a shit? Why bother? Why like go after them and try and be like,
So
actually you're not
that's why I
valid,
asked
right?
that's why I asked at the start of this. I was like, what was the context it was being used? Because like removing it from the context in which people are mad, I totally understand why it's a shitty term. But I feel like if you're talking about it in the context that I've seen it, it just feels like tone policing a marginalized group expressing frustration at a common behavior that they see in other people.
I've already addressed this earlier. Creating a derogatory term to other people, I don't care what the fuck you're going through, you're gonna have to eventually apologize after your fucking vent outburst, whatever the fuck happens. That makes you come up with that term. Like the same as calling someone a special snowflake, or I mean, there's worse terms that um anti SJW people have come up with that I probably cannot say on here. So you know, I don't really care what the fuck you're going through. Stop name calling people, you fucking asshole. I wanted to call you the C slur really badly there, but I don't know how Twitch will be about it. So, imagine I did say that. You fucking. Like, I
Would
do
you
not
say it's
fucking
it would
care.
be
I do
okay?
not care. I'm sorry. I don't care what the situation is. There's no real excuse. There's no excuse. I am sorry that that happened to you. We can have a conversation about it. For real. We can. I hate the whole AFAB only spaces. I think it's dumb. It usually turns into this whole femme people are perfect and amazing and mask people are evil and shit. Obviously, I'm kind of fucking affected by that, so I kind of hate the shit too, yeah? But that doesn't mean it's okay. I gave someone the hypothetical of an alternative universe where trans femmes and non-binary AMAB people are sticking or making like AMAB only spaces or whatever and excluding trans masks and trans men from it or whatever. It wouldn't then be okay for me to come up with the term she mab or they mab, like to mock them. It wouldn't then become okay. It's just not cool. I don't understand why that would ever be cool. And then, for some reason, it seems like people are able to understand it better in that situation, which calls back to another thing that really frustrates me a lot about a lot of spaces in the queer community about how we just care so much about the fragile, fragile feelings of trans women. But we can say whatever the fuck we want about trans men and beat them in the dirt and fucking toss them in the mud because they're men and they can handle it. But when it comes to cis men, we have to actually listen to them and consider their feelings. But trans men, let's just keep kicking them while they're down. Y'all never listen the fuck to us. Y'all never talk about us. None of y'all ever the fuck talk about us. You're like, oh, let's just wait for like a trans guy to talk about it. But then you'll talk about trans women all fucking day. What's up with that? Can we talk about that? Can we talk about it? Because Vosh did it all the time too. She does it too. She only uses us whenever we're like convenient in an argument. Come on. Come the fuck on. Can you fucking listen to us? Can you actually hear our fucking words for once? Instead of, like, in your mind subconsciously seeing us as the annoying SJW, red haired, blue haired SJW person that you want to roll your eyes at and ignore so badly, which is another way of your mind attempting to misgender us, basically. It's so weird how y'all always go back to, in some way, trying to be misogynistic towards us. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why, other than like you just like making us feel like shit for some reason. I really don't understand why people like to treat trans men and trans masks like this. It's so fucking weird. It makes me resent the trans community so fucking much. So fucking much. Oh my fucking god. Like I don't like my boyfriend is a cis man. I like him because we get each other, you know, whatever. And like I am so careful and cautious and skeptical when I go into trans spaces and make new friends that are trans because I never know how they're going to be about trans men. Usually people are just super fucking dismissive towards us and they just like treat us like they can treat us however because we're men now, so surely it should not phase us, even though we understand that cis men have feelings and we care about the cis men and their feelings now, but trans men have to learn how to fucking take it and be fine with it, you know. What the fuck? Y'all are hypocrites. Why are you taking all your shit out on us? Why? Why? Why do you need to do this? Why? I don't understand. For cis men, I guess maybe it's this thing of like trying to like I don't know, make us suffer the way they did. for cis women, it's like to see how much of a man we can prove we really are, or whatever. Which then kind of makes it suggest that you don't actually think the men that you listen to the feelings of and care so much of the feelings about are actual men. Hmm. I don't know. Curious.
To call like a trans woman who's got annoying opinions on trans stuff a she-mab. Yeah, a
How is
she-mab. Do you think
that?
that would be alright?
How is that actually relevant to it?
It is actually.
Well, because it's a direct comparison.
Yeah.
That would like apply to
It's
trans
not.
men
I'm
instead of
asking you
non-binary
what the
people.
context is in the first place that
Oh,
people are
sorry.
using it.
Well, I mean, I made that clear, right? The context that people are using it in is to invalidate people who they perceive as non-dysphoric and to insult them.
No,
That's
I'm
how it
talking
is
about a
used 90%
specific
of the time.
situation in which you've seen it being used. Like, when was someone called a theyfab? What was the
I
context that led you to say that in the first place?
well, I've got several friends who are trans masks
gotcha.
and have been insulted over not being gender conforming enough and have been called theyfabs.
See, I agree with you then.
Then why are you trying to debate me over this?
Why am I
Because like
trying
the
to debate
majority
you?
of people,
Because I've
majority of
seen people that
Because
I
you're
would
bored.
describe as theyfab.
Because you're bored and you need to have somebody. You just need. You need a drama. You need drama. You need it in your life. Apparently, it's the only thing that distracts you from everything else. It's the only way you can get attention and get sympathy from your community. And apparently, you need constant sympathy and like reassurance from your community. I don't really fucking know, girl. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Do not rely on that. Your community, that is not a stable thing. It will never be stable. You cannot control people. You do not know if they will for sure always be there. You gotta find a way to depend on yourself sometimes. Alright? I'm gonna say that one right now. Alright?
And I don't have
but
sympathy.
why would you?
Because I'll just tell you right now. I have looked for communities, built up communities, lost communities many, many a time. Nowadays, I just kind of have accepted the fact that, maybe I'll never find a place where I solidly actually belong, and I can make peace with that. Maybe that's fine. Maybe, people are gonna like turn on me one day or whatever and change their entire opinion of me and act like I'm horrible or something. And I'm starting to just kind of like be like, whatever, people are fucking annoying and like slimy and flighty as fuck and can't, honestly, just not loyal friends. So, like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like depending on because there's gonna be a time where you say something that most of your community disagrees with, and then you're going to feel like a shitty person because your community doesn't agree with you, rather than having that feeling inside of, I know I'm a good person, even if, like, people don't agree with me. You're depending too much on your community. I can tell that you depend, you can laugh about it if you want. I can tell you depend way too much on your community for validation. I can tell. I can tell. That's why the shit angered you so much, because so many people were not okay with it.
Describe them as that? Why not just use a different term which isn't like so inflammatory and also like so drenched in like transmed bullshit as well? Like, do you want to be like associated with that crowd?
No, I feel like it's weird to even say that I'm associated with that crowd when I made it pretty clear that I hate that crowd.
That's not what they said. They said that people who use the term theyfab are typically transmeds, and they asked you if you want to be associated with that crowd. Are you sure you want to use that term and be associated with that crowd? And now you're assuming that they said that you are by default associated with that crowd, which is kind of fucking weird.
Yeah, but who else uses that term? Like, actually, like, I do not see. I literally.
I've seen a
think
lot
if
of
you
trans
don't-
women use that term specifically to talk about their experiences of transphobia from people who are non-binary.
And I don't really give a fuck.
I don't.
I don't really give a fuck. I'm so sorry. Come up with a new fucking word, guys. Come up with a new fucking word. For real. Unless you want to keep this divide between trans women and trans men going forever. trans women, trans men, non-binary people. Unless you want to keep it going forever, I mean, all this does is exacerbate the divide. That's all it does. Come up with a new word. Or actually talk about the issues without relying on name calling all the fucking time. Because that's like weak, coward bullshit. Having to rely on name calling is like child shit. Like, grow the fuck up, for real.
I don't see why they would have to use that term, or why you'd then be like, okay, well that's all right. Is it? Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, again, is it okay to use the say like she-mab against a trans woman who's being
Are you
shitty
saying
to you or has
she-map or
shitty
she-map? What is she-map?
she-mab? It's a
She-map?
direct. Yeah, it's a
I have never
direct.
heard this term before.
I
Yeah,
know, I
he's
made it
making it
up.
up
It's
as
so
a
you can
Wait,
see
so
a
wait, so
comparison.
you just made this up for the point of an
just
argument?
made it
It's
up.
like
It's so
if-
That's
if-
the
if-
problem. It's like I don't think
That's not an argument,
Now
Keffals.
I
If
don't
you
have
have
to take you
theyfab,
seriously.
if you have theyfab, and you're saying that that's okay to do because it targets this group who you perceive to be invalid, why can't we flip that around and say that you could do the same thing to trans women?
She thinks she,
Because I
how
wanna
come-
talk-
she you could see on that look on that on her face. She was like, "Oh, I won this already. I won this already because he made up a word." Girl, come on. Don't act like you don't know what a hypothetical the fuck is. Come on. Unless you're gonna pull that whole shit that you were criticizing tankies for earlier. Huh? Are you gonna be a hypocrite and act like hypotheticals are like bullshit or whatever? Huh? Huh? Are you?
talk about actual arguments in the context in which these happen, and I don't want to talk about
This is a
theoretical
hypothetical,
things.
though. It's a It's just a very valid comparison.
Yeah.
I don't think it's valid. Like I asked at the very start of the
Wait, would you or would you not think it's okay to?
I
do?
asked at the very start of the
She can't
conversation, what was the context that made you say that?
She can't answer it because she knows that she would hate being called that. She knows it. She can pretend all she wants, but she knows that she would hate it. Especially if people in her own community started calling her that. Kind of want to get banned for calling her that right now at this point, since she thinks it's so fine to say theyfab. You know. You know. I just think this fucking sucks. I think all this sucks. Just own up that you fucking... Just take the L. Come on. It's fine. It's fine. Everybody takes an L in their life. It's fine. It's really fine. You didn't win this one. You're trying to come up with excuses to be a piece of shit for no fucking reason. Take the L. It's fine. Really, I promise. You will live, we'll all live. The world goes round. Your community, even if some people leave, I'm sure not everybody will. Okay? Like, I still want to, I want to enjoy your content. Kind of struggling to do that nowadays, but, you know, I want to. I really do want to. You know. But whatever. Whatever. Doesn't matter. As long as you have a community of people that entirely agree with you. Which is so ironic, isn't it? Because that's all you do is criticize other leftists of doing that, and then you kind of did the same thing. It's almost like when you are trans, you feel this need to build up walls of defense and find people around you to defend you over anything. And I get why you do it. I have done it before too. You know, I understand it, but then you wall yourself off from any real actual discussion, and then everybody here is like your little defender soldier or whatever, and then you act like you're in the right and everything's a meme, and none of this matters, blah 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 blah. But if it didn't matter, why would you make 2 videos about it? Why would you get so heated about it if it didn't matter?
there a situation that came up? I feel
Every
like
time
right
I've
out
seen
of
it
the
used,
gate.
it's been employed in a shitty
When
way.
did you see it used? That's what I was asking. I was trying to
Every
understand the
like several
context.
times with like trans mask friends of mine, several times with arguing with trans meds, like
I've totally
pretty
got
much
him
every
cornered.
time I've argued with trans meds, they've used it. I don't understand. I don't. I like, why not just tell people to use a different term which isn't like set out to try and like remind people
I
of their
kind of feel
of
like
their.
she knows it's bad. She just wants She just wants to farm drama. That's it. That's kind of how I feel at this point. I think she knows it's bad, and then she just wants to farm drama content like out of it. She wants because it is you do get a lot of attention from a lot of people when you do this. A lot of people you don't like, you know, or people who don't like you, you know, who don't typically view your content. You will get more attention. So negative attention is still attention, right?
Assigned gender at birth. Why is that the approach here? Why is that necessary?
See,
What does that do?
in the context that you're mentioning it, I agree. That's shitty. But I don't think that
Mhm.
it's okay to tone police people who are upset when it is very obvious that they're being targeted by a specific group. It's
Would
like
it be okay to call a trans woman a she-mab if she was shitty about your gender?
Yeah.
that's missing the context.
This is a
No,
It's the
it's
fucking
same
missing the
basic
thing.
context. It's
comparison.
not a
It's what do
basic
you mean it's missing the
comparison.
It is.
context? How
No, it's not
what more
okay.
context do you need?
Call them. You just made up the term she-mab.
Just the smiling. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired. Stop. Be serious. Fucking stop. Hey, keffals. Hey, guess what? Take a break from the fucking memes for one goddamn day. Ideally a week. You need a fucking meme detox. Alright? Because your brain is so memeified that you can't take shit seriously at all. Everything is just this funny joke, and I have to find a way to make fun of this person. Haha, I have to find a way that I can make fun of this person in a debate. That's not what debates are for! That's not what they're about! That's not the point. The point is not to find a way to make fun of somebody. You were teaching, because I could tell that this is the way you're teaching people, by the way. We were arguing with some of your fucking viewers in the fucking comments, alright? Apparently you think debate is finding a way to make fun of whoever the other person is. Apparently that's your way of debating people. That's not debate at all. That's not what debate is about. You're not achieving anything. You're just trying to posture yourself as the cooler alternative. That's all you're fucking doing here. That's really all you're doing. You're not trying to, like, actually clear the air. You don't actually give a fuck about doing that. Be honest. You don't give a fuck about doing that at all. You care about how you look about it. You care about making yourself look cooler and more edgy and more smart and better in all of these ways. And, like, just stop. Can you be, like, normal for a fucking second? Can you not be a fucking piece of shit? Is that possible for you? I don't know. I'm genuinely unsure at this point.
It's just
Yeah, who
divorced
cares?
from the Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
care
just a
because it's
No,
joke.
it's a
divorced from
direct
It's a
reality.
fucking.
joke.
Wait,
It's
how do you not
It's a
recognize
joke.
how
See,
she-mab
look
is
at me.
analogous to to theyfab? It's literally analogous. It's literally how do you see that, right?
How is it analogous? Give me the context in which it's being
What?
used.
Well, the pronoun they're using is they, and the pronoun the trans woman would be using is she. The assigned gender at birth is afab, and therefore theyfab. The assigned gender at birth for a trans woman is amab, and therefore she-mab, right? That's what it would then become, right? That's the comparison I'm making here.
The problem that I'm having with this is that she-mab doesn't mean anything
What do you mean? How does
because
it
it's a
not mean
term that
anything?
you created. It doesn't mean.
It's always like this. This is how, like, I always, like, I've always imagined, I don't always, but sometimes I imagine what it would be like to debate some of these people. Like, I know a debate with Vosh would not go anywhere because he would just try to find a way to make fun of me for believing in anything spiritual, so there's no point in doing that, and he's kind of just an asshole for that. But like with her, that's her whole thing. All of her debates literally just about finding a way to make fun of the person she's debating. That's it. That's it. It's so fucking mean-spirited. And the only people enjoying themselves are you and your chat. Like, that's it. And it's just like the only way you get validation to feel cool, I guess. That's sad. That's so fucking sad. The worst part is the way she convinces herself she's not terminally online. She's like, this is niche and terminally online stuff. Okay. And your entire community is niche and terminally online. So I don't know. You kind of built yourself off of that. So I don't fucking know if that's like a valid thing, like all of the drama you cover is fucking niche and online. What the fuck are you talking about? Shut the fuck up, stop pretending you're above it. I swear to God, it's just a way to dismiss trans guys or non-binary people. It's just a way to treat us like we're just whiny women. That's basically it. You're just trying to go back to fucking good old misogyny for us. Why? And that's the worst part. Not only are people trying to treat us like cis men times 10 in the worst way, the way society treats us, they also are subtly misogynistic to us, basically in a way to tell us that they don't see us as our assigned gender. Kinda like right now. Like, her being dismissive of this in general is her basically being dismissive of all AFAB people, which is just more people being dismissive of people they see as women, basically. It's just more misogyny all the time, just people disregarding how anybody feels. Doesn't matter, I guess. Oh my god.
Mean anything.
Aren't all terms created?
No, you literally just made
Did
it up.
theyfab always exist?
It's been a term for a while. Like, there are definitely different
it wasn't a
contexts in
term
which
at
that
some
people
point,
use
right?
it.
I don't see how this matters. I don't see how this matters at all. Why can't you engage with a hypothetical? Why
Yeah.
would it or would it not be okay to call a
Because
trans
I think
woman
that the history of the term matters in the context of the discussion.
It doesn't.
Okay, what
It's just an
history have
excuse
we?
for trans women.
That's
we
why
involved in
when,
here?
because I feel like this conversation.
I'm sorry, but we gives trans women way too many passes to be assholes and shitty. We do that way too fucking much. Too fucking much in this community. Like, sure, maybe on the outside of the trans community. That's why people do it. Because on the outside of the trans community, people are so shitty to trans women. And so, to make up for it, people walk on eggshells around trans women in the actual community, and it sucks so fucking much. And then they act like we trans guys somehow have it better because people patronize us and treat us like dumb children who don't know any better. I'm sorry, but it's not really better on the other end here. It's really not better on the other end here. I don't know where you got that idea. People want to basically convert me do conversion therapy on me. Like, I'm so sorry, but it's not better over here. It's not somehow better over here. Do not delude yourself into thinking that.
Got way too aggressive right out of the gate when I was trying to ask the context. Like, I thought there was a situation that led to this, but it seems like there wasn't.
It's just
and you were
every time I've seen that used, I do not see like people who are good faith and kind and actually not trying to like go in and invalidate someone's gender using that term. I don't understand in which argument it would be necessary to suddenly start trying to invalidate somebody's identity. Like you can say so many things. You can insult people in so many ways. You can explain in a billion different ways how they're stupid and wrong. I don't understand why you have to then bring their fucking assigned gender at birth into it. It just feels weird and fucked up and unnecessary.
Yep.
I'll agree with you on that. I mean, I don't think that in the context I've seen the term used, it's fucked up, but it feels like a pretty it seems pretty fucked up in the way that you've described it being used. And I think that the problem is that we're coming from this from two different angles.
Can we? But I think that the way that I'm describing it being used is the standard way. If we look at like the Urban Dictionary definition, all of them are describing what I'm talking about.
Yep.
None of them are talking about the thing that you suggested, and I tuned in for a moment.
I'll be honest, I've never fucking heard this whole thing of like trans women. We need to say theyfab though. We need to. Oh, we're so hurt in our feelings. We have to say theyfab. I don't give a single fucking shit. I don't care. I do not care. I don't care. There is no fucking excuse. There is no excuse. Maybe back in the day when that was a thing happening, but even then, there's no excuse. It's just being derogatory towards someone's assigned gender. It's just not towards. It's just trying to remind people of their assigned gender for no fucking reason. I understand. AFAB only spaces does that to you too. However, most people don't use theyfab against people nowadays. They don't mostly Nowadays, most people don't use that against people who care or make excuses for AFAB only spaces. Nowadays, it seems more like it's like femme and non binary spaces, and trans men are not included at all. That's kind of what it fucking feels like nowadays. So, I kind of think you're fine, to be honest.
At the start of your stream where you defined it as
come hang out on the outskirts out here where it's nice and cold, and then come tell me, alright? Alright?
like a non-binary AFAB person
that?
who's got like shitty views on trans stuff or something like that, right? Which is just not the case. It's just about
the only
insulting
time I've
people
ever
who
seen
people
it
perceive to not
used is
be
when
valid.
people. The only time I've ever seen it used is when trans women were venting about discriminatory behavior.
Dude, you have not seen like so much. Then there is every time I've seen like maybe not every time. 99% of the times that I've seen that term used, it is with the express purpose of invalidating some non-binary.
So wait, was this
person.
about?
That's
someone was suggesting. Was this about the now deleted Twitter thread about someone asking if a queer event was theyfab or tranny being told it was a queer event, only for them to show up and it was theyfab?
Not really. I mean, that tweet is like, that tweet's like neither here nor there. I thought it was like kind of stupid, and I feel like the terms there could be interchangeable with
I'm on
trans desk and trans.
I'm on Twitch. I just realized I'm also on Twitch. I can't say that.
Shit! Wait, what can't we say?
We can't say the word that I just said, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete that VOD.
Oh yeah, okay.
Can we start this over? Cause I honestly think that this got way too hot out of the gate, and I didn't expect this to be blood sports. And now I feel like
no, it's okay. I'm sorry. No, this is just.
I feel like I got put into a really defensive position when I didn't understand the context in the first place.
Instead of
I get you. No, this is also where I was confused. I don't see you as being someone who would really have odd opinions on this. So I do think it's genuinely just you not being informed about it. But I swear, if you look up the term on Twitter I'm actually gonna do
that because I want to see if I'm wrong on this because. Yeah,
I really think you are. I think you're like misled on this. I get it, and I've seen trans women using it like that, but I think it's a term that they shouldn't be using either. I don't think anyone should be unnecessarily trying to remind everyone about their fucking assigned gender at birth, right?
My headphones? I guess it was my tablet. I don't know what that sound is. Whatever.
Like, why can't we should just be able to avoid that? Even if you are venting, even if you are getting angry, it is basically kind of just transphobia to be like, actually, you're not actually the thing that you say you are. You are just still your assigned gender at birth, right? Because that's what that's saying, isn't it? It's kind of reducing someone to that in a way, right?
Yep. I agree.
One sec.
Sorry, no worries. I can try and find some examples as well, but if you just go on any like gender non-conforming or even just not super masculine trans masks account and you like look up tweets adding them with like theyfab, I'm sure you'll find something. Like that it happens like all the fucking time to trans masks.
Yep.
It like you and to like then enable the term when it
And
is
even
just
if
kind
it's not theyfab, it's something similar. It's something along those lines, you know? If anything, theyfab is just an example, another term. Hold on, I gotta open my door real quick if I'm gonna smoke. And yes, I'm gonna smoke, even if it hurts my lungs, because I don't give a single fuck.
of designed to cause dysphoria is like fucked up, right?
So I'm looking it up. You got me curious now. The first thing was you posting that you're debating me on this.
Yeah.
And then the second
Real
thing is
case.
someone saying theyfab isn't a slur because they wouldn't get turned on if they got called it. And
Wow.
then a shit post. If you think theyfab is a slur, maybe don't talk to trans women. People doing discourse about.
Okay, fine. You want this divide? We can have this divide. We can have this fucking divide. If you want this so bad, we can have this divide. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Get the fuck out my house now. Alright? Okay? Alright.
This is not revealing anything right now. I thought this would reveal more, but it didn't.
I'm not gonna go ahead and like call out every like non-masculine.
See, and then this is what she does. She goes and tries to dig into that person's history to make fun of them more. That's another thing I'm sure she would do if we had a debate. She would be like, "Oh my god, I didn't know." I don't believe you on this, first of all. I'm sure you do know about this, but oh my god, I didn't know that there was all this controversy around this person. Oh my god. And then you're gonna do the same exact thing that other people do to you. You know? You're gonna do the same exact fucking thing that other people do to you. Cause, babe, I've been dogpiled. I've been ostracized from my communities. I've had people make shit up about me all the fucking time. Alright? And I'm sure if a debate happened between us, she would do the same thing. And she would not think twice about it. Because she cares more about looking good. She really does. And then she has the gall to call anybody else a woke scold or, like, I don't know. Do we have a term for the type of person that, like, goes around spreading rumors or something that is, like, bullshit? Disingenuous fucker. I don't know.
Trans mask I know who you can like look at like their experiences and you can talk to them, but I assure you that they have like dealt with a ton of shit using that term specifically. I mean, if you sure if you don't fucking believe me or whatever, that's fine, I guess. What's the point of using this term? And again, I am gonna go back to the comparison I made before, and I really want you to answer this. Why would it be okay to call a trans woman a she-mab if she had shitty opinions on gender and fucking?
She's doing the same exact thing that people do against her. They have an argument and then they go and they look for some incriminating thing to use against them to make fun of them about so they can dismiss them and not have to think about them anymore. I don't know why people do this so fucking much. It's really weird.
I guess was non-dysphoric or whatever the fuck. Would that be?
You're criticizing me? Let me go back into your past. You did this thing. You're not so perfect. Okay, 1 second. I have to turn off my plant lights. 1 sec.
fine? Would that be okay?
You can
Or
call
you
me.
perceive her to be non-dysphoric?
You can call me that if you want.
Okay. Would you be
Sure.
fine with other trans people, other people calling other trans women that?
See, I just don't want to even engage with the hypothetical because
Oh,
it's
come on.
I don't want
Not
to
that
engage with the
bad,
hypothetical
though.
because I want to talk about terms that are actually in use in the community.
That's such bullshit.
That's
though.
not
Why
bullshit.
would
That is
you?
bullshit.
It's
That
not
is bullshit.
bullshit.
It's not
how is it not a
bullshit.
fucking
No.
analogous?
You don't want to feel anything. Be honest, you don't want to feel anything. Them asking that would require you to actually feel something and then be like, "Ah, shit, I was wrong." Can't have that.
This argument. How
It's
is it
not an
not like
analogous argument.
directly?
You can't build up this whole debate. Can't build up that you were gonna have this whole debate only to admit, like, 16 minutes in that you were wrong, right? Gotta clout farm.
Comparable.
It's stupid. I don't want to engage.
How is it not
I
serving the
don't want to
exact
engage
same
with a
purpose that
hypothetical that you
theyfab
just
is?
made up that has nothing to do with the community.
Shut the fuck
Like
up.
I think that they.
What do you?
You fucking liar.
What do you mean? I mean, how could it not be employed?
Because obviously
in, like,
the answer is
serving the
no,
exact
but we're
same
not
purpose?
talking about that issue.
Obviously, the answer is no. What? What do you
Obviously,
mean? No,
the
it's not
answer is
okay to
no.
use?
Don't call trans women.
Then why would you do that to fucking non-binary people? Why
Yeah.
would that be okay then?
Yeah.
Why would that be okay? In the context that I saw it, I understand why people are frustrated. I don't think that.
I mean, it's still practically
I feel like
misgendering,
tone
though, isn't
policing
it?
trans women is shitty.
I
I think
don't
that
get
they're.
it.
Okay, fine. I've listed my grievances with how people treat trans women in the trans community, about how there's a little bit of a favoritism going on there. What if I came up with a new term? Derogatory term specifically. Rather than talking about it, like a fucking adult would, maybe I could come up with a term too. Would that be cool? Or are you gonna suddenly not be understanding towards me? I wonder why. I wonder why she would do that.
allowed to
Look,
be
I think you should
frustrated.
tone police people who are
Let's brainstorm. Let me think. Let me see if I can come up with one. Tender femme. Maybe. Ooh, small bean kind of effect. I'm not going to use that one. I'm trying to building the vibe around it, how I feel about it. Can never do wrong. Protect at all costs, never criticize. Um, I don't know. See, I'm not really good at coming up with names and name calling people because I'm just not that kind of person. I'm just kind of like, I try not to be a fucking asshole, actually. So it's kind of hard for me to, like, get into that mind space, I guess, that you're in. That, it's just fun to make up terms or whatever. So, I don't know. How about, Femmies. I don't know. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, it just feels like the same thing that, like, neo-Nazis do. I'm sorry. Or incels do. Like, femmies, like, literally sounds so close to femoid, right? Like, it's the same thing. I understand. You can understand the frustration why someone might feel. I mean, like, I don't agree with why incels choices, but you can understand why they maybe in some cases why they feel the way they do. That doesn't make it okay for them to call people femoid, right? Like, what?
practically misgendering all the time. Fuck that.
Misgendering
I'd
all
say
the
that-
time. See, we're talking about different things entirely.
Okay, look, if you're gonna reduce someone to their birth sex,
It's all about, see, here's the thing. It's all about getting somebody to feel something, right? To actually feel how their words affect other people, right? Um, I'm sure, like, a whole life of upbringing that's real shitty, where you have to shut off your emotions and everything that some trans women have to go through, kind of makes it, hard for anything you say to get under their skin. So they just kind of think that, like, they can say whatever, maybe, because of that. I don't know. I generally don't believe in the whole male socialization shit. I don't know. I think there's, like, a general, sometimes, theme, like, thread that some AMAB people are forced onto, but I don't think it's that consistent at all. And especially since usually those standards are very American centric, so or at least Western centric, but usually American centric. So I don't know. Ooh, I'm really gassy right now. Like not in the other way, in the upper way. My esophagus, not good. Gotta love having acid reflux. What was I talking about? I just smoked weed, so now I'm gonna be like, I don't know, more calm, but also more forgetful. um. Oh right, getting her to feel something. I don't know what her fucking upbringing is like, so I honestly think it's probably easier to get her to feel something than some people I've interacted with before. Um. Hmm. What could one say? Because I just don't think that she understands how much this term affects people is the problem. And I'm trying to find a way that I can convey how it affects me to her, you know? But I don't know what kind of shit she thinks is super hurtful. So, I can't really come up with anything right now on the spot. But, um, it is hurtful. I can say that much. And I don't think there's a reason to call anybody that. I don't think there's any reason to be hurtful to somebody for no fucking, literally for no fucking reason. Even if you do have that whole thing. I'm gonna close my door real quick. Cough it out. Whatever. This is so stupid.
That is to me equivalent to misgendering. I don't give a shit. You're saying that they are not
I
what
was
they
so expecting this
identify
to be
as.
more chill. I'm
Just,
very
it's just,
confused.
I'm
not
no, it's
chill.
just, it's frustrating because I just see it be used so in such an awful, awful way.
That's why I was
And
asking you for the context in which it was
but I
used, and then
explained it, and
you
you
didn't
continue to
show me
defend
any
it.
context.
I mean, I can like fucking I can send you some stuff later, but I don't want to like have put someone on blast here, you know. If you do you think I'm lying about it?
I don't
Do you
think
think
that you're.
it's not,
I don't think
wait,
that you're. What?
do you want to look through the Urban Dictionary definitions of it? Because I assure you, nobody's using it like the way that you think it's like used. So
Yep.
go on Urban Dictionary and look up theyfab and see what comes up. Because
Wait,
it's not describing, huh?
how many trans women are you close friends with?
Plenty,
Plenty.
tons of them.
Tons of
Yeah,
them.
I've got lots of trans women friends. I'm a Vorshite, and I like
I'm just.
I'm very much I know tons of trans people. I know it's okay. Like I would still tell someone regardless of their gender identity, cis, trans, or otherwise, to not make an insult that harkens back to someone's assigned gender at birth unnecessarily. I think that's just kind of like
Wait, is this like
it's
trans
kind of
4chan?
stepping too
Am
far.
am I doing this? Is this like some weird trans incel shit that I'm just like unaware of? Is that why?
What are you talking about? Would it be
Like the
okay
no,
to
no,
like?
not you. Stop being defensive. I was
Okay,
asking if the term itself. I'm not trying to
sorry.
attack you.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Trans
I was
incel.
asking if there's like context I'm missing here. Because like I
What do you
legit, the only
mean? What do
times
you?
I've seen this term used in tweets that get big, it's literally people who are
Wait.
being
Do you want
real.
to look at Cactus, right? The random
Oh
piece of
yeah, no,
shit on
Cactus is a
Twitter.
piece of shit.
Go on Cactus's account. Look up theyfab.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Do you think she's going to be using it to vent about every like personal experience she's had
no,
in being
but
invalidated by a trans mask?
I feel like using Cactus specifically is bad because
Look
everything
at
that
any
she
of her
tweets,
friends. Look at
she's like
any of the like
literally the
general
worst
trans med
person.
community. Okay, yeah, but I'm using. Well, you wanted examples, right? Obviously, that's going to be a strong one. But if you look at
I guess
any
the
of the
reason
other
that this
people,
got so confusing to me is that I thought that there was a context in which you tweeted it, like a greater discourse that was currently happening. And I
well, I
thought
mean, it's just the term itself existing. Just why would we use that? Why have to invoke that? Why permit that and why defend that?
in
Yep.
the
What's the
context in
service?
which
What does it do?
you brought it up, I totally disagree with the term. Yeah.
Okay, but why? Okay, do we have to keep on using the term then if that's how it's often and, or I would say primarily used? Would you not want to just maybe select different terms if you want to vent about a
See, I think this
non-binary?
is where I think this is where the confusion came up because you're saying that
Mhm.
it's primarily used as a way to just attack non-binary people. And I think that the amount
Isn't
of
that the
times
It
thing?
I
also feels very much like almost like she's defending it in a way of like, oh, well, it's just like the way, like, people come up with terms for their oppressors. I'm sorry, but AFAB people are not your oppressors. I'm sorry, but trans AFAB people. I mean, AFAB people, cis AFAB people, yes, cis AFAB people, but like trans AFAB people, no, 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 uh, no, no. We're pretty much all on equal footing on this one. Let's be fucking real here. All right, like, I don't want to hear it. I'm so sorry.
Correct
seen,
purpose?
I think the amount of times I've seen it used has actually just been pretty limited. And in the situations, the person was so shitty that I didn't feel like tone policing them on it.
Okay, so if someone's really shitty, we can just go after their identity regardless of what it is? Where's the line on that then?
Where's the line on that?
Well, yeah, because I mean, if you're saying that it's okay to basically try and use an insult that's like could risk inducing dysphoria, what else can you say? How far can you go? Is this same thing true for other groups? Can you become a little bit racist if an ethnic minority is annoying enough? Like it feels like
Right.
you're permitting just like a degree of discrimination on the basis of someone being annoying and retarded, which I understand as an urge, but I think that's as a principle really
I feel
not
like if
good.
we're going to
We
get into tone policing and woke scolding, it feels really weird to use the term retard.
God, you know what's so annoying? Just in general. I understand that, like, people in this community are fine with saying the R word, but they almost do it, like, so much just to, like, show off how edgy they are. It just feels so 14-year-old boy to me. 14-year-old edgelord boy who calls people slurs on Call of Duty to me. It just feels so that. Like, I understand you think it's fine to say or whatever. You guys just say it way too fucking much. For no reason. Just for no fucking reason. It's real weird. I don't know. I usually only use it in a self referential way when I do it, and it's usually just quoting that one meme of Alex Jones calling himself that. Because I do feel that way sometimes. Shit.
It in the same conversation. Don't you agree?
I mean, I don't really care. I'm disabled.
I guess I feel like it should, most of the times, if you're gonna do that, it should be self-referential, maybe not necessarily to someone else. I don't really see why you need to say it to someone else, like the R word, anyways. Whatever.
use that. I can say that if I want to say that.
But that would apply to yourself, but you were using it on other people.
Okay. I mean, I don't really I don't really see the issue here. I'm using it to describe something in a way that's very clear to me, and is commonly used that way among my peers. It's
But
it's
yeah,
very well known to be that.
I would agree with you. That's
You
why
said
I
you
don't
don't
use
see
the term
theyfab
theyfab.
used. Okay.
I never have.
So I just okay, but okay. So if we agree Shemab is bad, can we agree theyfab is probably bad and unnecessary and avoidable?
Yeah.
Aced.
There you
Okay.
go.
W. Then we shouldn't be. Then I should be fine to say I want people to have anvils fall on their head. I'm just saying I want it. Obviously,
Base W. And there were 30 minutes left.
I'm not going to do it.
I mean, the fact that it's a term that comes from the trans community and that you say that if someone uses this term, you want them to die, that's fucked up. I still think
What do you
that's
mean?
really
There are
weird.
so many fucking awful terms that's born from the trans community, which are terrible to say. Why would you then be like, oh, that's holy? It came from fucking 4chan. Like, really? That's not an approach. I don't think.
So you think that a term that comes from a marginalized community that doesn't belong to you, you can be the arbiter of that community.
This is
and
some
those
idpol
terms.
bullshit.
How is that
This is some
idpol bullshit?
Because there are plenty of trans people who agree with me. There are plenty of trans people who agree with you.
I get
you
it. You have trans
be like,
friends.
actually.
I just don't understand how this like.
This is a weird optical move.
How is it a weird optical move?
It is a weird optical move. You're trying to attack me saying that I know people who agree with me because you're trying to imply that I don't know anybody who actually thinks this way. You're trying to imply that I actually haven't spoken to enough trans people to understand why it might be okay that this term gets used. Aren't you?
I just don't know why you're being so defensive on this.
I don't think
I'm not being I'm being pretty straightforward and you keep on dodging shit, I feel like. I don't know. I mean I did I not is it not like I don't know. I mean you agreed with me that we shouldn't use it and yet like this entire conversation you've been defending it. Like what's your actual position here? Is it not just so yeah, but we agree. It's a term that should be avoided. And we shouldn't use it. And if somebody is shitty to you,
I mean,
you
yeah,
should
in the
use
context
million
in
other
which
terms
this
that there are.
came up in the first place, you were saying that people who say this word deserve to.
Well, oh my god, it's a fucking tweet, Keffals. Like, really?
Well, that was the context of the conversation.
Okay. I mean, I was making a joke about anvils falling on people's heads. Like, really? I was saying that I think it's annoying and shitty when people do that. Okay? I was putting it in a creative and humorous way. I don't actually believe, shockingly, that people should have anvils fall on their head if they use a shitty term.
So how do I know when and when you aren't serious? If you say something and then it's a...
Here's the problem whenever this happens. Sometimes she gets criticized for something that she genuinely does. Then people apparently dogpile her. And then it becomes so hard to continue criticizing her that, like, she just, like, forgets about it and, like, pretends she won and is right or whatever. Because, you know, now there's a bunch of people being shitty or whatever. And it's like, how do we escape this cycle? I really think it's just to avoid the, like, disingenuous people and ignore them. And if you're, like, not capable of doing that, then you should probably not be in to debating. I'll be honest. That's some wise sage wisdom from old Vosh there that I remember. Alright. I can tell you that much.
Joke.
I'm sorry, do you read a tweet where I say every time someone uses the term theyfab, an anvil should spawn in 30 meters above their head and go, oh no, they're gonna do it? Like,
Well, I mean, you
really?
could
Do you
have
think?
just said that it's shitty and no one should say the term, but you
Yeah,
specifically said
everyone would
that.
love that. That would be really funny. That would do really well. That would do great on Twitter. Everyone loves when you make a blank statement and you don't like add anything to it.
How do you care what people think on Twitter?
Oh, so wait, you were rage baiting.
I mean, no, I was making a point about how I'm annoyed by people who use that term, and I was doing so in a way I found funny. I mean, sure, you can say I was rage baiting. I mean, my tweets are generally kind of provocative, right?
You can't get mad at him for doing this if you think saying theyfab is a whatever jokey thing, that it's a whatever thing. You can't like this is so like a double standard or something. I think there's a better word for this, but that's the best one I can come up with right now. That's what it feels like. What?
To people who disagree with me, if that's how you want to define it. But I was just saying my opinion, really.
Yeah, this is all like really, I don't even know where to go from here in the conversation. I think I misinterpreted where this was coming from. I thought there was a situation that was happening that
Why do you
provoked this and you
care
were
so
subtweeting. I
much?
didn't know that it
I
was
mean,
just provocative tweet.
well, no, a situation, it's an ongoing situation of that being used to discriminate against trans masks for ages. I would say that's a situation.
I've
It's just
never
not a
heard
very
the term,
specific one.
and see, I think that's the problem as well, the differences in our experience. I've never heard that term used to talk
I,
about trans masks before.
look, hey,
I would think that's
later,
incredibly shitty. That's why I was so confused
I'm
when
really
immediately
baffled by this. Look, later when you're done streaming, I will go through and I'll send you some examples from people I know. Later, I can send you examples of people being called theyfab in a derogatory manner solely for existing as a trans mask person. I can send you plenty of examples. I can
Turfs
send you
do it all the
tons upon
time.
tons. Okay, but I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want to put people on fucking blast. But if you don't believe me, I think that's really stupid. But I can like prove it to you later. But I'm not gonna. First of all, I don't have a bunch like in the backlog because I thought it was like known that it's used like that. And furthermore, I don't want to have like put people who I'm friends with and who are already getting enough shit on blast, right?
hmm Right,
And
right.
now they're doing the
Sorry, I was
same
just
shit.
like,
Pulling up receipts.
I didn't know that you were saying that Xanderhall deserved his financial troubles.
Dude, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is what you do every time in every debate. You start off with an actual topic, you derail because haha funny, time to make fun of them, and then you're like, then your chat finds some incriminating thing, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did this thing, and now you're making somebody defend themselves online when you were having a debate previously, supposedly. And what if I post this? Is she gonna do that too? Would she like? Hopefully she doesn't. But like, would she watch this and then like go on to like learn about all the things that people say about me and be like, I can't believe this happened, and now I can't trust anything you say, and now I have to treat you like a horrible person, and me making a video about you, this like person who is very small online, and then have my whole community come and make fun of you. um it's fine and normal, and I'm sure you deserve it, and yeah. I'm sure you totally haven't had enough of that in your lifetime. uh Tell me I don't know what it's like. Like, why does it feel like you do this sometimes to, like, almost punish people, you know? To make them feel how you felt when people did it to you. Because that is how it feels. So, anyways, I'll just say this, I'll put this out there. If anyone ever wants to debate me on my life, we can do that. We can have a debate about it, and I can tell you what I'm actually like. instead of, maybe listening to the opinions of people who just constantly want to find shit wrong with me all the time, or maybe have like some weird interest or like need to, I don't know, like they think they have this need to like have an issue with me. Whatever. People are so fucking weird.
My
A random
God,
thing out of nowhere.
really?
Yeah, my
That's
chat is drama frogging. I mean, that's shitty, but
This is
unrelated to the
this is from the
conversation.
ad block drama,
The ad block
where
drama.
the ad block drama where he said that ad block being blocked on YouTube would be great. I made fun of him for it. He blocked me and everyone who liked my tweet. The
Yeah,
context of
but
that being said was that no, hold on. Let me
okay.
explain the
No, you
context
know
at
what?
least
I'm
if you're
not
gonna
going to
put that
explain
out
it. I
there.
think the problem is that you came from this like immediately
No,
off
no,
the
no, no,
bat.
no.
You've been
Don't
bad
do
faith with
that.
me.
Don't.
You
No, the projection. The projection. Wild. Fucking wild. The projection, though. What?
have been
What?
Girl, come on. Girl, come on. Be real.
bad
What the
faith with
fuck are
me.
you
I
talking about?
asked the
How the fuck have I been
context
bad
in which
faith?
this conversation was happening.
Sorry. Also, the finances
What?
thing was in response to me saying that if after a year of like him fucking like trying and streaming and like selling merch and shit,
Anyways, this sounds like it's going to nowhere. It's always like this. All the time. I don't know why. I don't know why it has to be like this. I like her gaming streams. I think those are fun. Um, really wish she wouldn't do these drama debates, because that's what they are. They're not real debates. They're just like drama, just trying to create more drama, and I don't really understand why. And you know what's so funny? If I put this video up, people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, look at all these like I can't believe he's like stereotyping trans women in this way or whatever in regards to what I was saying earlier, and then there's going to be so much sympathy for the poor trans woman that we just never have enough sympathy for, but then, the whole point I was making just gets swept under the rug entirely. Yeah. Um and then I don't get any sympathy at all if someone wants to call me theyfab or whatever, you know. It's just fine. Well, we're allowed to say whatever we want about trans masks and trans men and stuff like that. But if we God forbid you say anything about a trans woman. God forbid these poor ooh sweet beans can never be touched. Never do wrong. I guess. And then their behavior gets so enabled because no one calls them out on it that they like become really like shitty to be around, and it's like, okay, all right. And then when you try to call them out on anything, they kind of act like this. So,
that he should be able to make back like the fucking I think it was like 10 grand that
I'm
he like lost or
generalizing here,
something. And I
which
said that if
I
he had
don't like to do. So obviously this is not how everybody is like, but it is a pattern I do notice sometimes. So maybe I'll come up with my own little slur. We'll have a good old fun time, won't we? It's a good enough reason to, you know. So yeah, so that's what's going on with that. You know, it's already been 2 fucking hours apparently. So that's wild. But why is my why is it struggling so hard to connect to the chat room? Or just connect to the internet? Like, I don't understand what's going on. Anyways, all of this is very dumb, and then people were just like calling me like, I don't know, just like treating me like I'm over emotional about it and shit. Basically, like, okay, the misogyny again with it again. Cool. And then I was complaining. Oh, okay. It's so funny. Mhm. Gotta get your subtle misogyny jabs in. Gotta do it. Got to do it. Wouldn't be shitting on a trans man if you didn't both make him feel like an inadequate man, or that he'll never be a man enough, and also be misogynistic. Right? Yeah. 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 Just be shitty. Let's just be shitty to each other. How about that? Let's just be shitty to each other. That sounds like fun. Let's be like pieces of shit to each other. How about that? Doesn't that sound like fun? Doesn't it sound like fun? I think it sounds like fun. Let's just be fucking assholes to each other. Let's just say whatever you want. Let's just like make excuses for people to just say whatever they want. And then get mad at them when they don't like rein in their audience or try to say anything about their audience, right? You know, don't rein in your you don't have to rein in your audience, but you know Hassan has to rein in his. And I don't even like Hassan, you know, but just noticing your hypocrisy seems to be quite a lot going on there. I'm getting so tired of this shit, of this like debate streamer shit. I don't know. I mean, like, Shark is still cool. It's kind of been cool all along, you know. Xander Hall is fine. I don't really watch his content that much, but whatever. I like him, you know. But like Bosch, Keffals, I'm over it. I'm over this. Just like you want to ostracize and like push out trans masks and theyfabs so badly, then I guess that's what you want. I guess you want this divide. We want this divide. Okay. I guess that's what it is now. And all we ever have is trans masks and such. All we ever have is each other. No one else in the fucking community. It's fine. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Touch grass, right? Feelings don't matter. Nothing matters. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Which means your feelings don't matter, by the way. Uh huh. So that's what that means. Um, so I can call you She-Mab now, right? That's fine, right? When I'm mad, if I'm mad at you, if you do something, like act like you're weak, innocent white woman tears, trans white woman tears. Maybe that'll be it. Maybe that'll be my own version of theyfab. How about that? Go hide behind your little army. Oh my god. I'm so over it. This is so disappointing and depressing. I mean, like, this is what she wants, I guess. Like, she wants this divide. Whatever. Bye. I guess it's bye now. I guess it's go away now. Well, I mean, that's all I got, really. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, I guess. I don't know. Bye.